Hi everyone, I am thrilled today because I have with me Cade Farr. Cade Farr is a construction manager here for Highland Homes at Wildflower Ranch. Thank you for being with us today, Cade.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome. Anita and I got to meet Cade back in October, and we are now in April, right at the end of April, and we started here from the ground up, and our first meeting with Cade, there was nothing here, and then you went and put forms in and all that. So for you as a construction manager, what does your job really entail?
So every day, it's communicating between trades, vendors, making sure, options obviously that a homeowner selects are all, or put together in their home properly. But there's a lot of scheduling, a lot of payroll, lots of walking houses, creating punch lists, and just following up on, those items that, help provide that final boost towards, closing day for each individual home.
That's great. So when you start your day, what are you looking at? Do you have schedules that you go by? How do you do that?
I do, yeah. So I typically print off each of my home schedules early in the week, and whatever I've scheduled out, see what was actually accomplished in the morning, what I'm expecting later on that day. And so really when I get here in the morning, it's unlocking, checking everything from yesterday's work, going back to the office, doing a couple emails, sending out some other items that you may have noticed whenever you walked the house that you didn't the day before. And then depending upon what day it is in the week, we do have payroll, so I try and squeeze all that in on Friday if I can. But then just being a presence in the community all day long. So trying to observe something new from each individual trade of what house they may be at, and just trying to be a presence and make sure that we're on top of it. So.
And what is great about Cade is that, unfortunately or unfortunately, he gives you his phone number, and so you can text him, and he's great about communication, about getting back. Yep. So you do a great job of that as well, so you have to balance all that out. Now, how many different model homes do you have right now at Wildflower Ranch?
So Wildflower currently has two product lines. So we have the Wildflower Artisan 60s, which is a 60-foot lot with a 50-foot wide home, and then we also have a 50-foot wide lot with a 40-foot home. So those are the two products currently in Wildflower Ranch. Obviously, as you go around to different communities and whatnot, there's different size lots, different styles of homes, different series that we all build out with Highland. But in Wildflower, we have the Artisan 50s and Artisan 60s. So.
Yeah, so we wound up with the Artisan 60.
Correct.
So our model is the Fleetwood model, which also within that you have a lot of choices that you can come up with.
You do. Each individual plan has separate options. Some, are in every single home. Some don't go into it. That's the fun of it, is even though sometimes you're building the same house, there's still different options that, makes each individual home feel unique. So
that's great. Yeah, so presently right now, how many homes do you have going at this time?
So currently I have 15. It's been busy lately, but it's been good. It's 15 different projects to look forward to every day. You never know what you may find in one house and not the other, and it is an enjoyable process, So.
Yeah, and what I found amazing about you is that I could call you or text you, and I would bring up something, and you knew it right away, which always blew me away because I could barely keep track of what we were having going on at the time. So what challenges do you face having multiple homes going all at one time?
What's tough, what can be tough is, not being organized is step one. You've got to be organized because, like I said, it's 15 different homes that have 15 different options and, maybe 15 different plans that you're building. So you've just got to be familiar with everything. And, one of the things is just, there's so many hands that, touch your home while it's in the process of being built. And the big thing is going back through and just checking everybody, because everybody makes a mistake every now and then. But trying to be able to catch that as early as you can, and, whether it's a sheetrock crack or, whatever it may be, just trying to catch it as early as you can and make sure that it's notated, and making sure that really just everything is organized by each individual house is what helps me. So
Yeah, when I look at you, I always think of an orchestra leader because you have all these different instruments playing, but you got to make it so it sounds like music, right?
Yeah.
And so when you have all this going on, I find it so fascinating because you could have different tradesmen at a house at one time.
Yep, you can, and a lot of that comes into our scheduling. Luckily, once your home gets into a later stage, everything's dried in. You can still work on rainy days and whatnot. And sometimes you have to, stack more than one crew in at a time. And we don't like to do it typically, but if you got to make up some time one day, you can certainly do that. And just making sure, there's consistencies with trades that, you may see of somebody may always damage this or damage that, and trying to go forward and find a way to prevent that in the future, and making sure that everything just flows as it's intended to is the key. So
yeah, and you guys do a great job at that. So one of the things is, when you look at home builders in general, there's a lot to pick from. I know as a realtor, I've gone out, and as soon as I mention Highland Homes, people say, oh, that's a great builder. But from your aspect, what do you think is Highland's secret sauce?
I think it's the communication. Truthfully, we send out updates every week. Sometimes it may be a phone call, email, text, whatever it may be. We just want to be in touch with our buyers because we know it can be an emotional process. It's a lot to kind of go through, and it flies by pretty quick. And so one thing may matter to one homeowner that doesn't to another one. Is just trying to keep that communication. If we aren't communicating, we won't ever know how, what you thought of the build possibly, or if something's been bothering you that you've been seeing at your house for a couple weeks and it was something that we could have gotten taken care of a lot quicker. And so just the communication is what I think is the secret sauce. So.
Yeah, I would say that I've found that amazing as well. My wife and I would get weekly updates from you as well as we were progressing along. So yeah. I would agree as well, because I think in business right now, communication is key.
It is.
And you guys not only have the build where you are doing exceptional with the building, but communicating is a lot. And as you're going through this with your clients, it's a big deal. It's one of their biggest assets,
it is.
Right? And so you've done a great job of communicating, even when he was on vacation. I'm not saying to call him when he's on vacation, but he'll send notices out or things like that. Hey, next week we have this going on. Done a wonderful job at that, and I know we truly appreciated that.
Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, no, it's certainly nice, and we try and keep everybody in the loop with everything that's going on, because you may come visit the home on Wednesday, or it may be Saturday, Sunday. We just want to make sure that you feel part of the process with us, and so that's the big key.
I loved when the foundation was being poured, you sent us a video of that.
Yeah.
So it's really, talk about communicating. That was on the spot, doing it right then and there. So that was awesome. Now with Highland Homes, are there any new trends that you've seen that they're adding to their builds right now? Is there anything that you find unique about Highland's properties?
I think Highland in general is a great company. They are always coming out with new ideas that, whether it be a new plan or a new elevation or anything like that, we're always trying to find the next big thing to do. And so I think really it's just we're always growing. And so I think that's awesome, getting to see, new homes, new plans, everything like that to, add to our current lineup is always exciting to see. So
that's great, yeah. So at the end of the day, what is it that you enjoy the most about being a construction manager besides going home?
There's a lot of things. I think it's great because you meet people with all different types of stories, whether it be a trade, a homeowner, a supervisor, whatever it may be. It's always, fun to see or have interactions with them. And the other cool thing is you can learn a lot from the trades. I've learned several different, construction related uses and whatnot, and so being able to take that home and if I see something at my house, I might be able to fix it a lot easier than having an electrician out or anything like that. So I think getting to meet people with all different types of stories, and then you also just learn a lot. And construction is always changing, and there's a great way to learn a ton of new things just by watching. So
well, great. Well, thank you so much, Kate. I know that being part of the process with us, I personally and my wife have thoroughly enjoyed the process. You've made it just absolutely fabulous, and we've made friends with someone like you too, which is a blessing to us.
Yep.
So it's wonderful that you're doing this, and thank you so much for being with us and being able to share with everyone a very important aspect of when you're talking about a new home build, because when you're selling and buying a house, every team member is important, but when you have the one that's actually putting it together, it's super great. So you actually get to see your finished product, which must be really amazing to be able to do that.
It's very cool to see. That's one of the reasons that I got into home building is, you know, I like seeing progress, and every day there's progress on the construction site. You know, whether it may be something small or big, there's always something happening, and you get to see and have these interactions like we are currently that see happy homeowners, and that's the real key to everything behind it. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
You.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cade Farr, construction manager at Highland Homes, and he is awesome. I hope you get a chance to work with him.